Hello and welcome to another Royal Reviewer live pop-up chat. Today is the 13th of January 2020. I nearly said December. Oh my goodness, the glasses are off. We have just had, literally within half an hour, we have just had a statement from Her Majesty the Queen. Now, this is a personal statement. This is not something, written by palace aides. This is something that has come from the Queen herself. This is a personal message, and of course, it is in relation to the hashtag Sandringham Summit as it has unofficially become known. So in my previous video I made, we were talking about that it was actually going on right at that moment. I did say that it was going to take place typically until around about 5 o'clock because the Queen, 5 o'clock GMT, because the Queen did have a prior engagement. Just as I said, round about that time, the announcement was made that discussions had taken place. There had been some kind of conclusion. However, the details are still yet to be drawn out. So, without further ado, I am going to read. I did make a video actually showing the official statement from Her Majesty the Queen, but I will read it again at the top of this video just so we are all perfectly clear as to what it actually says. So, this is a statement from Her Majesty the Queen, published on the 13th of January 2020, and it reads, "Today, my family had very constructive discussions on the future of my grandson and his family. My family and I are entirely supportive of Harry and Meghan's desire to create a new life as a young family. Although we would have preferred them to remain full-time working members of the royal family, we respect and understand their wish to live a more independent life as a family, whilst remaining a valued part of my family. Harry and Meghan have made clear that they do not want to be reliant on public funds in their new lives. It has therefore been agreed that there will be a period of transition in which the Sussexes will spend time in Canada and the UK. These are complex matters for my family to resolve, and there is some more work to be done. But I have asked for final decisions to be reached in the coming days." Now, for all the time that I've had to digest this statement, even reading it a third time, I am seeing things that perhaps I didn't see before. Just before I made the video I posted prior to this, just before I came on and did this live chat, I did briefly look at a few really quick initial comments from commentators on television. And I've also managed to read a few tweets from royal reporters. And I think at the moment there is a varying and a variance of interpretation from this statement. So from this statement, my immediate reaction is that we don't have all the details. It is not a detail specific, a detail heavy statement. What it is basically doing, I mean, let's go through it line for line again, and I'll try and give my thoughts on it. So, today my family had a very constructive discussions on the future of my grandson and his family. So, at the outset, it is not it's not a me statement. It is on behalf of all the family. It's a family effort. So the Queen is saying it's not just my decision. I have worked in conjunction with, in effect, Charles, William, Harry, and Meghan. So this is, and also she made a big point of saying that these talks have been constructive, which means that they are further forward in knowing what's going to happen than what they were before, prior to these discussions. So the first sentence, I think, is really positive. Constructive discussions. That is what I like to see. Next line. My family and I are entirely supportive of Harry and Meghan's desire to create a new life as a young family. So, take from that what you will. They are entirely supportive. So they understand. They are supportive. They understand. But the key word that I'm seeing here is desire to create a new life as a young family. You can desire whatever you want. I can desire a new Mercedes car. I can desire a private yacht. It doesn't mean I'm going to get one. So, just like what I said earlier, I've read initially some Royal Reporter tweets, I've seen some comments almost saying that Harry and Meghan have got what they wanted in their statement of intent. I'm not entirely sure. It's still saying that their wish is a desire. It's not being confirmed. It is still a desire. The Queen is very, very careful and very nuanced with her words, but she's quite clearly here saying that it is still a desire to create a new life as a young family. However, they are going to be supportive in as much as they can in delivering that. Next sentence. Although we would have preferred them to remain full-time working members of the royal family, we respect and understand their wish to live a more independent life as a family whilst remaining a valued part of my family. So let's break it down again. So they are saying that they would have preferred them to remain full-time working members of the royal family, which indicates to me that in these talks over the last few days, over the Sandringham summit, that the royal family have tried. They must have tried or offered different things, different options for Harry and Meghan to remain part of the family. I think, I said this before, I think that was always going to be a key wish, a key desire of the royal family was to keep Harry and Meghan in the fold. However, this obviously, for whatever reason, hasn't washed, and it is still the desire of Harry and Meghan. It's their wish to live a more independent life as a family. Now again, keywords, wish. It's still their wish. It's their desire. It's their wish to live a more independent life. So again, we're getting the words more, not entirely. We're getting the word more. So that indicates to me that there is going to be, eventually, when all the detail comes out, that it's going to be some kind of compromise. They are going to live more of an independent life, but it doesn't necessarily mean they're going to live a fully independent life. But anyway, more independent life as a family, whilst remaining part of my family. So, does the Queen mean remaining part of my family but not doing any duties? Does she mean that they are still going to be carrying out work on behalf of the Queen and the royal family? That is slightly vague, slightly ambiguous. It's, this whole statement is slightly open to interpretation. There is no official detail attached to this. It's very carefully worded. The next line, Harry and Meghan have made clear that they do not want to be reliant on public funds in their new lives. So again, I think that is a key red line for Harry and Meghan. I think the royal family are pointing out that it is Harry and Meghan's desire, Harry and Meghan jointly, that they do not, whatever happens, it is they have made clear that they do not want to be reliant on public funds. Now again, they have made it clear they don't want to be. It doesn't mean they're not going to be. It's still, their desire that they don't want to be. Doesn't mean entirely that they're not going to be going forward. It has therefore been agreed. So this is another key point. So this is the bit that's been agreed. It has therefore been agreed that there will be a period of transition in which the Sussexes will spend time in Canada and the UK. So this is the little bit of detail that is actually in the statement that has been agreed. There will be a period of transition. So I would imagine that in this period of transition, they will still carry out maybe some duties on behalf of the Queen. Maybe they will still be receiving some level of public funding. Will they be able to do what they want and to become financially independent, earning their own money whilst in this transition period? We don't know. That is something that we need to wait for the detail. But basically, the Queen has agreed that Harry and Meghan will step back as full-time senior members of the royal family, and she has agreed, obviously, that they will spread their time between the UK and Canada. So that part of it has been agreed. Again, the details surrounding it, the tax implications, will they be able to earn their own money, security issues, rent or whatever on Frogmore Cottage, we still don't have those details yet. Then the final sentence. These are complex matters for my family to resolve. So again, the Queen is saying this is not simple, this is not clear cut, this is not done yet. And there are still resolutions to be made. And there is more work to be done. So again, she is saying we have not come to the final conclusion. There is still more detail to be hammered out. We still have to come to a conclusion. But I have asked for final decisions to be reached in the coming days. So it seems to me like the Queen has had her personal physical interaction with Harry, Meghan possibly over the phone, William, Charles, and she has now asked that they all come together and that final decisions will be reached in the coming days. So I don't think at the moment we are going to be getting any further detail released officially until there has been a complete resolution to what has been started during this so-called Sandringham summit. Like I say, the statement that's been released is vague in parts, it's clear in other parts. We have a clear definition that it has been agreed that Harry and Meghan can split their time between the UK and Canada, but we do not know in what capacity, how it's going to work. We do not have that level of detail. I am just going to go now to the comments section, if I am able, because I want to see what people are saying. I want to kind of read the reactions to this. I am still processing this myself. And I think that is very important to remember. I've only had like literally 30 minutes to read this, react to it. I think on the kind of fourth time reading it through, I've got all the main points of it. But like I say, the Queen does use very kind of nuanced language. So I am very interested to see how other people interpret it. Unique K says, the Queen said, my family, it's her family to trash out thing and not ours. It's definitely, it's a family effort. It needs to be a family resolution. I think the Queen has made quite clear in that statement that she is not going to be, she's not going to be a dictator in all of this. She's not going to come down and say one way or the other that, Harry and Meghan have got to do this or got to do that. Everything has to be agreed as a family, and she wants them to work at it as a family. The Queen, of course, will remember what happened to Diana. She'll be very, very conscious now that everyone is more aware of mental health issues, that she doesn't want Harry and Meghan to spiral. She doesn't want them to have any more, issues. She wants resolutions that are going to work for the royal family, work for Harry and Meghan, work for the monarchy, work for Britain, work for the Commonwealth. She wants resolutions that are going to work. And I think that is very, very, very clear. I'm just going to kind of scoot up a little bit more. Live, Love and Laugh says it might be their desire, but at the same time she's treading with caution. I would agree. She doesn't want to lose her grandson completely. No, and of course it should be said that Harry does have immense respect for the Queen. I know obviously people have questioned that in the recent days with the way and the timing in which their initial statement of intent was released, but I think above everything, the one person that Harry will have at least listened to will be the Queen. But like I say, I don't think the Queen is coming down dictatorial on them. I think she wants everything to work and be agreed. Yes, she has called them Harry and Meghan in the statement. Oh, and also there's been no mention of titles, although I think, in certain circles it's being reported that titles, are probably not going to be renounced in all of this. Caitlin says, if anyone's wondering, Canada's only pays for official work, not vacation or security. Again, we do not know what has been discussed. I imagine that foreign government officials will have been consulted on this. And yes, I just seen some comments. The Queen did call them Harry and Meghan. It says Harry and Meghan have made clear that they do not want to be reliant on public funds. So this is a very, very clear message that this is from the Queen herself. Annie says, thank you. I love your channel. You always report the facts. That's what I'm going on at the moment. I have just read the statement. I have tried to dissect the statement as much as we possibly can. I understand that this is a huge big issue for everyone to wrap their heads around. It's big for me to get my head around. A lot of people are still processing Harry and Meghan's decision to do this in the first instance. So, the fact that this is now actually happening, the Queen has agreed that this can go ahead, but we do not know, like I said, it's important to stress, we do not know in what capacity this is going to go. We don't know what the model is going to look like. So it's going to be very, very interesting over the coming days to see exactly what has been agreed. Like I said, I think some people are saying this is a victory for Harry and Meghan. They have got exactly what they want. That statement does not say that Harry and Meghan have got exactly what they want. It has said that they are clearly working towards Harry and Meghan's desires and wishes, but a desire and a wish is not the same as getting exactly what you want. Like I said earlier, I can desire to drive a Mercedes, I can desire to live in a mansion, doesn't mean it's going to happen. We are still waiting for resolutions. We have a little bit of information, but we do not know fully exactly how this is going to pan out. Right, I am going to go now. I don't think I have got anything further that I can add to what's been released. There are photographs out there of Harry and William leaving Sandringham, of course. William is staying at Anmore Hall, which is only about a 6-minute drive away. We don't know if, for example, Harry may have been helicoptered back to Frogmore Cottage. We don't know all the details. Prince Philip wasn't there actually at the summit. He was seen leaving to go back to Wood Farm, which is on the Sandringham estate. So, seeing as I have nothing further to add to this conversation, I'm going to go now unless we have anything else crop up. So, if you have enjoyed this video and you're trying to make sense of things just the same as I am, then please give this video a big old thumbs up. Don't forget to share on social media, and also do hit that bell so that you know whenever I upload a new video. Also, please do remember to subscribe to this channel. So, from me in Shropshire, trying to make sense of things, mwah to you all, and goodbye.